expensive repair bills. Just call Car Sheet before your car breaks down. Here's an
Hey, Ray, what's happening with you? It's Annie Mae, the Neo Soul songstress, and you are watching. If you're watching this, this is for the people on YouTube. If you're watching this, stop the video right now, subscribe. What's up? What's up? Oh,
Hey,
it just on the screen. Like,
what's up, sis?
and today, our guest today is DJ Assassin.
Thank you, Annie Mae, the Neo Soul songstress, holding it
Oh my
down.
God!
I had to put it all together for you.
Look, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I appreciate
Oh
you.
man. I say I got you. I'm like, I got you in a lineup with DJ Goodnight and DJ Chevy. I was like, that's perfect. That's a perfect week.
Hey, you got me. Hey, you got me up there with some of the heavyweights, yo. I'm honored.
Yeah, cause you are like you're one of the heavyweights up in there, man. You've been doing this for years. So tell the people a little bit about yourself. Where you from and what you do.
Sure. I was born originally in a town called Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Have you ever heard of it before?
Yeah, I used to live down there in Roxbury.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
And then we moved to Penn Hills when I was like 4 years old.
Yeah.
So I've been in Pittsburgh ever since 1974. I know that's really showing my age, right? So
Well, you don't get. Look, you got good genes. You know the melanin.
that melanin, baby, you know it.
The melanin, baby, like.
And yes, so I went to schools in Penn Hills. I went to college at CCAC, then Robert Morris.
Mm-hmm.
I started DJing in '86 when I was 16.
Wow.
And that has been, as you know about how music is.
Yeah.
It just changes your life completely. It changed everything.
Awesome, man. And so how did you get started with DJing? Like, what was?
Well, you know what? Always when I was young, like if you talk to any of my sisters or my brother, they'll tell you like I used to kind of like sleep with 8 tracks and certain records I was obsessed with, so I would go try to play the record and mess it up, almost like I was trying to scratch it when I was little. And I used to always try to take me to record shops. So then, once I got older, see, really, what changed everything was hip hop. I always loved R&B, loved soul. My favorite group is probably still to this day Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yes.
So,
yes.
They were such, and even once I got older, I found out, aside from the musical aspect, the message that they were really trying to portray with like the album covers and the gear and everything. But so that's kind of, and then when hip hop came out, when I started hearing, Rapper's Delight, then like Curtis Blow, then like LL Cool J, was just something. And then when I saw these DJs and what they were doing with the records, I was like, "Ooh, wow!" Like, and then there was this, there was this cat I saw at this little like East Hills used to be East Hills Shopping Center, and it used to be cracking, and they used to have like little events and stuff up there, and they had dudes up there spinning in the summer, and I was just like, "Yo."
Sweet.
And then your man, I know you know Sly Jock, right?
Yes.
So Sly Jock was on my paper route.
Shout out.
Yo, I was just used to OG legend all day long. all day long. He's definitely an early influence for me. Like listening to his mixes, cause see, like back when I went to high school, you asked some cats from that era. We used to sit up and wait for him to do his mixes, and we would tape them.
Mm.
And then we would go to school like on Monday and be like, "Man, did you tape that Sly Jock mix? Did you, yeah, did you?" And people would be swole if they didn't. I'd be like, "Man, I'll dub you a copy. Don't worry about it." You know what I mean? He was just a blend. His blends were just immaculate, and he was playing like that early hip hop. He was playing like the Run DMC, the Houdini, Rockmaster Scott, you know, EPMD, Cool J, Cool Mo D. That's what. It was just unbelievable. And then to go to his crib, like, cause you know, as a paper boy, you gotta like at the end of the week, you gotta go to people's crib and collect the money and give them a little paper stuff. And you go in his crib, and it's nothing but speakers and records.
Sweet.
I'm just like,
oh
this
man,
is me, yo, this is yeah. So that's kind of how it all got. And you know, I took my little paper route money, saved up the tips from Christmas at the end of '86, and bought my little turntables and mixer. I like already had a little amp, couple little speakers. I was buying records, so I had a little punk ass collection, you know. It wasn't a lot, but you know, something to get started with.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of went from there, to be honest with
Sweet,
you.
sweet. See, I like DJing from the way it was, like, you know, from like it's like you're actually it's like you're actually playing instruments, you know. It's like you got to put in serious work.
Well, and that's kind of how it was back then. The turntable was an instrument. Like, you could not get gigs. Like, literally, if you was like, you know, a lot of people wanted to, there were so many like nice clubs and bars here back in like 80s, 90s, even in the 2000s. And they want the best DJs. And anybody that's a DJ wants to spin in front of a crowd. But you had to audition in most of them spots. Like, you know, they might even have the turntables and mixer and the amp and everything set up. You just bring a bag of records and do what you do for like 15 minutes or whatever. Normally, if they want to hire you after about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't need to see no more. You're good. I'll see you Friday night," or whatever night it was you were trying to get. Yeah, but you had to go in. You couldn't just
right.
You had to rock it all the time.
Hit or miss.
Yeah, I mean,
hit or miss.
And you know, even if you mess up, you should know. You know what I'm saying? This is my shit. Let me calm down, because it's easy to get nervous, especially when you see a really, really big crowd. Nah, you just regroup, focus on the crowd, and remember that you're the man in control, or the woman, or who, you know. So yeah, but it's been a fun ride, and it ain't gonna stop.